What's up, everybody? Back for another Honkai Star Rail video, and of course, new update, new Prydwen tier list. We gotta talk about it. Tradition at this point. Plus, I'm very curious to see where they put all the dot characters. Now, I think that probably Kafka and Hysilens are going to be higher up than Black Swan, right? Not saying Black Swan is bad on the team by any means, but she's definitely the one that would be replaced the easiest, or you would have replacements for like Sampo or something like that, right? Obviously, Kafka is going to be a must run along with Hysilens. Hysilens makes the team good again, and Kafka is the main like supporting unit of the team. So it wouldn't really make sense for like the third, like the DPS, quote unquote, of a team where two people are already kind of doing the DPS themselves to be higher than them. Maybe Whoa might go up. Actually, no, she's like tier 0, and I think MOC and Apocalyptic Shadow. I think so. I guess she won't go up. I'm not used to her being at tier 0. I mean, hey, W's oh stonks, you know. Other than that, I can imagine some characters going down. Who is going down? I'm not 100% sure yet. I imagine characters who are like, you know, like break and whatnot going down, probably just because like the older they get, yada yada. Other than that, let's just check it out. Now this is MOC based, right? I'm pretty sure I said it in the title, but let's see. MOC. Let's see. We have, wow, no shock there. No shock there. Let me just look at it because I'm not gonna look at the other ones. She's tier 0 in MOC, 0.5 in Pure Fiction, and tier 1 in Apocalyptic Shadow. I think that's fair. Since she has a lot of AoEs, but tier 1 Apocalyptic Shadow, I feel like she could definitely go up. Kafka went up as well, 0.5, 0.5, tier 1. She's on the watch list, we'll have to see. I'd imagine that's going up. Maybe it's only going up for Apocalyptic Shadow and that she's 0.5 in all modes. We'll have to see. Bronya went up, Sparkle went up, Aglia went down, really. Okay. I'm assuming it's just because, you know, characters are getting stronger and she is one of the older ones. Sparkle definitely is because of Phanon, and then Archer. Archer's hard carrying Sparkle. I don't care what anyone says. The only reason Sparkle is going up on any tier list is because Archer is so damn good, and Sparkle is like, Archer has a partner tag here. Sparkle deserves to have a partner tag here. I'm not gonna lie. Yes, she can be used with Phanon, but good lord, she carried by Archer. Bronya going up makes sense. You run Sunday Bronya with Phanon most of the time. Tingyan's going up probably because of Phanon as well. Fugue down again. I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense, considering. Oh, Rappa went down. That's so sad. To be fair, I mean, they kind of just don't care about break anymore, so that's really no one's fault. Besides, I guess, their own, right? They're on the watch list. Jinglu went up, thank God. She didn't deserve to be down here. She's actually quite solid. Probably the worst of the like buff characters with Blade, where the hell Silverwolf is. Silverwolf and Kafka. But she's still very, very strong, right? Anyone else go down at all? QQ went down. I mean, and Jue, like, who cares, bro? Like, tier 3 and down is just like, don't use them at this point, like, to be honest. And like tier 2, like, you could use them, but yeah, tier 3 and down is just, who cares, bro, at this point. The average player's not using them. Not saying you can't clear with these. Like, I've seen people get a freaking zero cycle with Donhang, right? But these characters need a lot of love from really good supports to be runnable. Alright, so let's see. Boom, boom. I can't remember if anything else changed. Let's just peek real quick. Oh, Cypher went up? Well, I guess she was tier 0 before, so she couldn't go up. I mean, I think she's tier 0 and everything. I'm not gonna lie. Those guys went up. Walt went down. Austin went down. Donhang went down. QQ went down. Okay, I guess we did have to check multiple. And then nothing changed here, right? Okay. I don't know why. Maybe I missed the Pure Fiction, or they're doing both. I thought it was just MOC. Alright, Revival of Dot. Let's see. Yep, re-enters, top ranks of the high tier. She's a watch list for tier 0 for Pure Fiction. Okay, makes sense. Watch list for Apocalyptic Shadow. It's just his watch list, so they don't know if they want to raise her higher or lower. Watch this for tier 0. Makes sense for Kafka. 0 0.5, 0 0.5. Okay, so they placed them lower just to be safe, I'm assuming. As usual, when we add new units to tier list, we prefer to place them conservatively to avoid having to drop them later, after players have already pulled them. Actually, I feel like that's 100% valid. High key. If they do it to, like, appease the agenda or whatever, that's one thing. But actually putting them, because so many people use Prydwen and they don't want to be like, yeah, we put them a little high, we're going to lower them just a little bit. They're still good, but not like, game breaking as we put them, and people pull for them and then get upset. I feel like that's valid, right? It's a lot better to I know FOMO is crazy, but it's a lot better to skip a character and be like, oh, they're busted, is what it is, than to pull a character and find out they're actually not nearly as good as you thought, because then you just have a character that you're probably not going to use or can't use to the full extent, and it's just a big L, right? Yeah, we would rather raise them once we have data and they prove themselves. Fair enough. Across all 3 game modes, Dot has been given favorable encounters and buffs to work with the time of Hysilens release, something that isn't uncommon but certainly allows them to perform above what their average performance may be in the future. For that reason, we assigned watch lists where appropriate, with the intent to rise Dot as a whole when we have more information. Okay, we don't really need to read the rest. DPS, with the release 5 CNs, the continued domination brought out by Phanon over a higher bar of tier 0 and MOC currently. Aglet isn't currently measuring up, so they're lower. Okay, break. Do I really need to read this? They don't care about break no more. Like, it is what it is. Jinglu, after her buff, Jinglu has been performed well enough to earn a promotion to tier 1. Some of this is thanks to the fact that as an HP killer, she's often played alongside Hysilens, Tribby, and Castress. Both feel like she... Okay. Oh, they're meaning the team. I was like, what the fuck? They're talking about running Jinglu, Castress, Tribby, Hysilens. I was gonna say, no shit, you run Tribby and Hysilens. That's like kind of like her best healer and one of her best supports. Like, what? But it makes sense. It makes sense. They're talking about Jinglu, Castress, Tribby, Hysilens. I actually haven't used that team. I might test that out. I've seen a couple people talk about it and use it, but I haven't used it myself yet. But yeah, Castress and Jinglu would go well together because Jinglu is draining, so Castress gets her dragon faster. They're all HP scaling. Jingyun and Buhu watch list to move down. Yeah, neither Buhu or Jingyun have been scoring at a level at which we expect their base or the previous 2 for their current ranking. We're watching them for now to give them one more phase, to give them a chance to recover. I doubt it. I'm assuming Boot Hill is going to go down even more because he's break, single target, doesn't bode well, a lot of AoE stuff. But he continues to perform well after his buff, but like Jinglu, he leans heavily on the HP juggernauts of Tribby, Hysilens, Sig, and Castress, perhaps even more so than her. Really, I've actually not seen like any Castress blade teams. We recognize his strengths, but don't feel as he's done enough at this point to break into tier 0.5, especially with the power level pushing even higher each patch. Poor blade. Amplifiers, Phanon effect. That's all you need to say, bro. Burn the Sparkle Ting going up because of Phanon. Feud going down because Super Break's not as good. Pure Friction update. Okay, they're doing it all together. Miday's on the watch list to move up. W, Amplifier, Cypher's moving up. And then Phanon effect for them, and that's pretty much it. Meaning like Blade and MOC is experiencing major improvement to his score thanks to Hysilens, Tribby, and Castoris. Damn, Castoris really carrying these bums, I guess. Cypher. Cypher's moving over multiple phases now that her constantly present debuffs are a major benefit in Pure Fiction. They're scoring impressively and being able to be slotted into multiple teams. That's my GOAT right there. We love Cypher. Other than that, nothing too crazy on this tier list. I'm actually not too mad. I feel like putting Kafka on the same tier as Tribby. I mean, Kafka does, like, overall, I feel like Kafka is really, really good in Dot right now. So, like, to be tier 0. But when I think about it, overall, Kafka can only be used on one team. So putting on the same tier as Tribby feels, like, disingenuous as hell. At least to me. It's like, it depends on, like, how you do your tier list, right? Obviously, Prydwen is just going off like a base level, right? So Kafka would probably be tier 0, right? Because she's so broken for Dot. But in my head, when you're doing a tier list, putting a character who only works for one team, like Cerebro would probably be like tier 1 for me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, she's very restrictive on her team. She's very good on those teams, but she has like not many options. I like having a character fill a lot of general use and we can use on multiple teams for me to consider them tier 0. Because if you're tier 0 but you can only be used on one team, then it's like, you know, it's just rough to me. I'm not a huge fan. I like having more variety and more availability. Like Tribute, you can use in like basically every single team, so she deserves tier 0 for everything, right? Same with a character like Robin back in the day. You could use her on basically every single team, and you know she's cracked for that. Same thing with Ruan May back in the day. You literally can use her on any single team, and she'd be good, tier 0 across the board, right? But I don't know. It feels weird. Like I don't know if it's the dot like player mix. I love dot, it's my favorite type. But like, is it the dot player telling me to put her to 0, or is it the reasonable like you shouldn't put her to 0 if she's only for one team? You know, it's rough. But my Teen Yun hater in me is telling me she doesn't deserve to go to tier 1. But that's just me. I'll allow it. I guess I'm 100% biased. I'm not a huge fan of 4-star Teen Yun. I'll let it go. I'll let it go. Other than that, nothing too crazy, honestly. I feel like this is, you know, it hurts, but I feel it's valid just because Break is just not doing too hot. I'm happy. I'm the happiest that Jingli moved up. She 100% deserved it. I am completely satisfied with just ending it on just being happy for Jingli, honestly. Other than that, that's pretty much going to be it for the video. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. How would you like the character? I'll have my showcase probably going up tomorrow when I use the character more. I'm trying to get a little bit better pieces for my Black Swan because I kind of just like let her get like a base set and called it a day. So she could definitely have a bit of improvement, especially in the order of which everybody's attacking. But other than that, that'll be it for the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.